Yeah, I was just having a conversation with a doctor that I coach in London, and the conversation was about time is an illusion. So I thought I'd jot down a few notes and record it for you. By the way, I'm Dr. Russ Rosen. I help natural healthcare providers just like you thrive in a care versus care, true optimal health model. So the conversation came up because he said he's an associate and he's newer in practice, and he said, I spend about 20 minutes per person and I run late and it always feels rushed and I always feel stressed. And patients quite often will say to me, "Is that all?" And then he said, "When I get adjusted by the owner doctor, that doctor spends 10 minutes or less. And it always feels like more than 20 minutes. It always feels like it's not rushed and that I'm relaxed and that I got so much out of the visit. How does he do that?" So we just had this great conversation. And again, I just wanted to share it with you. So what I know is time is an illusion. It's not about the amount of time you spend. It's about the present time consciousness that you have, which allows you to have a different experience, which allows your patients to have a different experience, which allows you to get even better results. Really, it's not about time, it is about results, but the time and the results are going to be affected by their experience. So, I had an experience when my stepdad, who was a dear friend of mine, was dying. And I flew out from Maui to California and I met with the cancer doctor with him. And it was about a 2 hour wait. We were really, really, really behind. And obviously, it's a very stressful situation. And I have my yellow notepad to take all kinds of notes. And I had all kinds of questions. And we got in, and he said, the medical doctor looked at me and he could tell like I was really stressed, but I had my list of things I wanted to ask. And whether he knew it or not, I wasn't leaving that room till these were answered. And I'm confident he could feel that because I wasn't happy about having to wait 2 hours. So when I came in, he sat down and he said, "I noticed you've got quite a few questions there." And I leaned forward and I said, "Yes, I do." And he just completely diffused the situation by leaning back, putting his hands behind his head. He put his feet up on the table and he said, "Russ, we have all the time in the world. Take your time, ask your questions." And it was amazing. My shoulders dropped. I stopped. I started to breathe. I was able to be present with this guy. And it went through in a fraction of the time, right? This guy held the space, held the vibration of calm, of all is well, of not rushed. If he was feeling anxiety and he was feeling rushed, we would have gone at it because I wasn't leaving that room until I got my questions answered. So the space we hold, the vibration that we hold makes all the difference in the world. Okay, well, that can sound a bit metaphysical. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the science of this. So, present time consciousness, there aren't many around who would know Jimmy Parker from Parker Chiropractic School anymore because we were all dying off. But Dr. Jimmy Parker used to talk about PTC, present time consciousness. It's a real big chiropractic concept. And in essence, it's the zone. It's about being 100% present. And very few of us get there, and very few of us spend a lot of time there. But when we do, magic happens. Now, we've all experienced this in sports. We've all experienced it if we play music or dance or anything along those lines. When you're in the zone, magic happens. Time slows down, right? When you're with your patient, you know where to go, what to do, what to say, what not to say, right? Think of a basketball team that's on a run. What does the other coach do? Calls a timeout. Why? To get you out of the zone, right? Because magic happens in the zone. So, is the zone a real place? Is it just a metaphysical construct or is it a real measurable place? Well, it's a real place. Okay. So as far as like megahertz goes, you've got beta state, waking state, anywhere from 12 to 30 megahertz. I believe that that's what that is. And, there's high beta, medium beta, and low beta. And then you've got kind of alpha state 8 to 12. Well, right in the upper alpha, lower beta is a place called SMR. And in SMR, that's kind of where the zone is. And the first guy who figured that out had been doing a lot of tests with cats and put on the little gizmos and was measuring the brain states, beta, alpha, etc. And the cat, it was always the same thing. He always did this with this cat. It was always, beta or alpha, whatever. But this time he found it kind of between beta and alpha. He found this new thing called SMR, which he described SMR. And what happened was he forgot to put down the shade. And so the cat was staring out the window at a bird in a tree and it was ready to pounce. So it was very present. It was very present. It was in beta, but it was also very calm and very relaxed. And that's the state that we want to get into and stay in because that is where the magic happens. So Uncle Al, Albert Einstein, says that time is an illusion. In my experiences, that time is an illusion. Think about this. When when I used to skydive, I was really into skydiving. We would have 60 to 80 seconds of free fall. And if all was going well, that 60 to 80 seconds of free fall felt like a very long time, right? Lots of moments per second, very present, versus sitting and watching TV, drooling. Not a lot of moments per second. My spiritual mentor of mine, Dr. Bruce Parker, we were having this conversation. I took him skydiving too. Um, and he said, well, just think about this. Just think about if you took jumper cables and put them on your nipples and revved your engine, are you getting more moments per second than you are sitting watching TV? And the answer is, yeah, absolutely. So there is this place, there are these moments per second, and the more moments per second, the more present we are, the more connected we are, the more magic happens. Now, I personally used to, this guy, John King, was CA of mine. He was magical, and this guy was magic. How he could get our schedule flowing and working. And we used to do. Our team would hold hands and do a prayer every morning, and we would visualize a line out the door. And it wasn't just a line out the door, but it went around the block. And this was a very long block. It would have been several thousand people around there, and we just visualized that. And there was this one night that I was running really far behind. I was probably 20 or 30 minutes behind. It was raining outside. There is no awning. There's only room for 4 or 5 people to sit down in this tiny little space that I had. And there was literally room, a line out the door, probably 20 people, and it was raining, and I was freaking out. I was just freaking out. I hate making people wait. And he walked in and he could see that I was freaking out. And he just looked at me and he goes, right? He just like smile, breathe. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you've wanted. Don't ruin it now. And so I just started to breathe. I just changed my vibration and I went up to people and I shook some hands and I said, listen, I'm so sorry we're running behind. We had an emergency that I simply had to help somebody who is in crisis. If you need to go and come back, that's okay. I understand, but I'm so sorry. And everyone was like, don't worry about it. It's okay, blah, blah, blah. And I breathed and I got myself together. And within about an hour and a half, we were completely caught up, right? So much of it is your vibration. It's your space. It's you being able to take that frenetic energy, right? The doctor I'm talking to, he gets stressed out because he's behind, right? That frenetic energy gets out of the zone, and now he gets more and more behind because he doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to say. right? Whereas when you're in the zone, all of that is magic. All of that happens. So I want you to think about this. Is present time consciousness or the zone a real thing? Absolutely not a question. It is. What would happen in your practice if you could get in the zone and stay in the zone? What would happen with your results? What would be the difference with your patients' experiences, with your finances, with how much you enjoy being in the practice when you're in the zone versus when you're not in the zone, right? So what might you need to do to get in the zone and stay in the zone? I talk to my coaching clients about this all the time. These are the specific things you do to get in the zone. These are the things you do to stay in the zone. And when you do, magic happens. Comment below. Let me know about your experiences. If you want to get on Zoom and chat this down with me, see if I might be able to help you get in the zone, stay in the zone. If you want to look at how I can help you thrive in a care versus care true optimal health model, go ahead and comment below. Let me know that you'd like to chat with me or just tell me your experiences of this. Hope you found value in that. As always, much love and aloha. Bye, gang.